What is the best drugstore black nail polish? What is up, my nerdy peeps? I hope you're having an amazing day and welcome to Nerdy Nails. Now in today's video I'm going to discover which is the best drugstore nail polish on the UK market. Our drugstores are either Boots or Superdrug, or that's our two mainstream ones anyway. Now drugstore is a very American term, as we call them either the chemist or pharmacy here. For me, I just call it Boots, as I always just go into Boots the most out of our two mainstream ones. Whatever is your equivalence to a Boots or a Superdrug in your country, that's where I've gotten all of these black nail polishes from. Let me know in the comments down below what you call your local Superdrugs, as I'm curious to see what they're called around the world. Today I've got 10 black drugstore polishes to try out. Now to make sure we test this fairly, we need to have a controlled polish to see how truly black some of these drugstore polishes are. So I thought I'll make this video a little bit more spicy, and I'm making Holo One Coat Black the controlled polish to compare all of these polishes. So one, we can see how good some of these drugstore blacks are, and also see how truly black is Holo One Coat Black. For these drugstore polishes to be classed as a good black, they need to be either on par with Holo or even better. I've only got one rule for today's video, and that is it's got to be a very deep black with one coat of nail polish. For me, I'm being very strict, as personally I don't mind applying 2 coats of a black nail polish on my nails, because one, it's personal habit. I always apply 2 coats for any polish, even if it is a super 1 coat black, and I'm going to be very strict today, and we're just going to have a 1 coat black off. Drugstore nail polish should be on the inexpensive side, so the polishes we're testing out today, they are varying between just under £3 all the way up to a whopping £12, which is definitely more on the expensive side. It's going to be interesting to see which ones are the best value for money, and it also brings up the great old question, should you be buying your nail polish at drugstores, or do you need to go down indie routes to buy better quality nail polish? I'm going to be swatching all these nail polishes on plastic nails, and it's going to take forever if I was doing it on my natural nails. And I'm also going to be swatching on a white piece of paper to see how much of the white paper shows through the black. Let's start off with our control polish to see what all of our drugstore polishes have to compete with. Holo is an indie brand, so in case you do not know, Holo is a nail polish line from a big nail blogger on YouTube from Simply Nailogical. She has deemed this one as a true 1 coat black. Retail price for this one is $11, but converting that into UK money on the Google Exchange, that roughly converts to £8. For the swatch, as you can see, for 1 coat it is already super black, so this polish is a great controlled polish, as for a black polish it is already super black with 1 coat. And even swatching it on our white piece of paper, you can hardly see any white coming through, and this is a solid black with 1 coat. So overall this is a great black polish. So let's see how well the rest of our drugstore polishes hold up next to Holo. So our first one we're going to try out is Rimmel London. This one is called Rita Black, and the code is 900, and the retail price for this one is £3.49, rounding it up to roughly £3.50. I'll also add on the screen what this is in the equivalent of American US dollars. The polish looks completely fine, but the biggest thing I'm noticing here is, damn, Rimmel London has such thick and chunky brushes. Like, these brushes are huge. This is a great polish to start off this competition, as for a 1 coat swatch for this black, it is already super black, so this one is definitely a strong contestant to Holo. But let's see how well this looks right next to it. And wow, this is pretty black with 1 coat, so this one is definitely on par with Holo, so a great polish to start this competition off with. So our next contestant is W7. The serial number on this one is just 28 black, so not a very original name there. But the retail price for this one is £2.95, so it's our cheapest one we're testing out today. And I always kind of think This one looks like a little bit of a counterfeit knockoff of OPI, as the bottle design is very similar. With the swatch, it's definitely sheer and a little bit streaky in some places, so Rimmel London was definitely better, and even next to our controlled, it's not as black compared to Holo Toko. So let's see if Barry M can do any better. Right, so we've got Barry M's 128 Black Forest. The formula looks great and the brushes are fab. I really do like a flat and curved nail brush like this one. Retail price is £3.99. So for the application, it is gliding on nicely, but it is a little bit sheer in some places, and even next to our controlled to Holo Toko, it is not the strongest black we've had. It's very sheer in some places. I think this one isn't too bad, but this one would definitely need 2 coats for sure. Moving on to Orly liquid vinyl. Now this one is our most expensive one we're testing out today. It is a whopping £11.99 or £12 if we round it up. The formula is okay as it's gliding on smoothly, but wow, this is such a sheer polish. And even next to Holo Toko, you can see how sheer this black is. And I have no idea how this company can justify selling this for £11.99, as it's so expensive and you're not even getting a true black. Let's move on to the next one. Now we have Polished, which I believe is to be Boots' own brand of nail polish, and this is number 18, and the retail price for this one is £2.99. For the swatch, it is very sheer and very streaky, so not good at all, and even next to our controlled, it is completely rubbish next to this one, so this is a horrible black for sure. Up next is Sally Hansen's with Black to Black, and the retail price for this one is £4.99. Formula looks okay. The brush is a very short and wide brush, so not often you see a really short brush like this one. And for the swatch, it is absolutely rubbish. Look how sheer that polish is. It does not deserve to be called a black for sure. Instead of calling it Back to Black, it should be called Black to the Bin, because this is rubbish. And even next to our controlled, it is super duper sheer and does not stand up to par to Holo Toko for sure. Up next is Spotlight Shine with number 6 Blackjack. The retail price for this one is £3.20. The brush does look pretty good, but oh my goodness guys, I can already tell this one is going to be rubbish. I don't know if you guys can see, but the top of the bottle already looks so sheer, so I do not have faith for this one. And my goodness, my intuition was right, as just look at that on the swatch. Like, you can't even call that black. I don't even know what you would call it, but that is not a black nail polish, and I feel robbed. And even just looking on our controlled swatch next to Holo Toko, like, that is not black, that's like a grey, and this one is absolutely rubbish, and all it really deserves is a place at last place, because this one is completely trash. On to our next one, but this one's pretty much going to top our previous one, because pretty much anything's going to top it. So this one is Expressie. This is part of the Essie family. It's not your classic Essie polishes. These ones are more your quick drying versions of the classic Essie polish, and they've decided to call this one Now or Never. The retail price for this one is £7.99. The brush looks okay, but I wonder if I've got a slight default in the bottle, as the brush does look a little bit wonky, but apart from that it looks completely fine. Now moving on to the swatch, it does look okay. I mean, compared to our last one, this is like a black, but it's still quite sheer. It does look a little bit streaky, but I don't think it's that bad, but I'm going to test it on the piece of paper to see how bad the streakiness is. It is definitely quite a sheer black and is a little bit streaky. So I'd say overall, for what we've had so far, it's not the worst nor the best. We've had better ones in this video so far. Up next is Nails Inks polish with Cambridge Calls My Name. So a very unique name for a black nail polish. Haven't heard a name like that before, and the retail price for this one is £8, and the brush and the formula of the polish looks okay. I do like a flat wide brush like this one, and for application, not too bad. It is definitely sheer in some places, but it is on the darker side. But let's have a look how well this swatches next to our controlled, and it's definitely a light shade of black. You can see the white paper is showing through, and it is nowhere near as good as our controlled polish.
And moving on to our final polish we are testing in today's video, and that is Maybelline New York's Blackout. Now the retail price for this one is £3.99. The brush and polish looks absolutely fine, no problems here. Now for the swatch, this is a pretty good shade of black with one coat, and for the last one it's ending it off pretty well. And even next to our control polish, it is looking a pretty good shade of black, and the polish is smoothing out nicely. I don't think it's been the darkest shade of black we've had in today's video, but it's a pretty close second, I would say. So here's all of our swatches compared to the controlled on our piece of paper. So pretty cool to see all the black polishes between one another and seeing which is a darker shade or a lighter shade of black. But going from our swatch on the piece of paper and with our swatches on our plastic nails, I've come to this conclusion for the ranking from worst to best, and a lot of them were quite close to one another. For some of the rankings it all came down to if it was a smooth application or if the polish was very streaky. Now our worst one of course was Spotlight Shine. That's not even a grey at all, that is just super duper sheer. And then we've got Sally Hansen, Essie, Polished, Orly, W7, Nails Inc, Barry M, Maybelline New York, and our winner is Rimmel London. Now looking at these rankings, I do kind of wonder maybe I should put Orly a little bit higher and Nails Inc a little bit lower, but just going on these swatches it does look a lot darker, especially for Nails Inc, and I feel like Orly I've put it lower down because the price to charge £12 for a polish is absolutely ridiculous.
Now I do think for some of these polishes, if we applied a second coat of polish, then we would get a true black, especially with Barry M and Maybelline New York. They were already very black, and I think one more coat would have just sealed that all in.
But I think we can all agree for sure Rimmel London is definitely the winner. That polish was so black for one coat, it really blows me away, especially that was one of the cheapest nail polishes that we tested in today's video. So I'm going to swatch Holo and Rimmel London on both of my hands because I really need to see how dark both of these shades of black are on my natural nails, just to truly compare if Rimmel London is the best drugstore black nail polish in the UK.
So we have Rimmel London on the right and Holo on the left, but it's pretty obvious what we can see straight away is both of them have two completely different brushes. Rimmel London has such a chunky brush and Holo has got quite a thin, slender brush. Now I'd say for brush size, I'd say out of the two of them, I'm not a huge fan of both of them. But if I have to pick, I'd go for Rimmel London just because I prefer wider brushes, but these brushes are way too chunky because I have quite wide nails. So for me, when it comes to application, the wider brushes are always much easier to apply than the thin, slender brushes. But that all comes down to personal preference and the type of nails you have. Off camera, I've just sealed this all in with Barry M's Quick Dry Top Coat. So here's the end result of our winning drugstore polish. Now comparing this one to our controlled one, the only difference I can tell is that Holo black is a much more glossy black, where Rimmel London one is still glossy, but the glossiness is much less refined. But to be honest, if you have normie friends who don't paint their nails quite a lot, I bet if you showed both of these polishes to a normie, they wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And there you guys have it. Rimmel London Rita's Black is the UK's best drugstore black nail polish currently on the market. So if you have Rimmel London, or if you live in the UK and you've been looking for a black nail polish, definitely go buy this one as it's at a great value and is definitely a one coat black. And hopefully you also save a bit of money because between Holo and Rimmel London there's about a £5 difference. So with that £5 you can buy yourself another bottle of nail polish. So it's a win-win for everyone. So my closing thoughts when it comes to buying nail polish via the indie or the drugstore route, and to be honest guys, it's completely up to you how you spend your money, but if you've been looking for a decent one coat black in your local drugstore that isn't too expensive, then Rimmel London is the place to go. But if you want to spend a little bit more and support creators making their own nail polish line, then that is completely up to you. And for me personally, I do a bit of both when it comes to buying nail polish. So to be honest, if I want more unique polishes such as like holographics, glitters, multi-chromes, or nail polish that is just a bit more unique, then I'm going to go down the indie route. But if I just want a basic creme colour, which is just a plain colour of any sort, I'm just going to go down the drugstore route, as I think for the UK we have pretty good drugstore nail polish, and I don't really want to spend a lot on boring cremes, so I will happily stick with buying cremes in the drugstore. And if I want more fancy or unique polishes, then I'm going to go down the indie route. But that's me. You guys may be different, and that is completely fine because everyone is different and unique in this world. But that's everything for today's video. If you have enjoyed it or found this video useful, then please leave it a like. If you haven't, but you have a friend who's really into nail polish, then share this video over to them, as they might find this video useful. And if there's anything you want me to create or test out with nail polish, then leave a comment down below and I'll get around to doing it. Eventually in the works I have this same video but testing out the best white drugstore polish, so stick around for that. So just remember guys, keep being awesome, keep being amazing, and I will see you in the next nail art video. Bye!